this conversation. I've even seen you repeat it on a podcast that you were like, "Oh my God, I feel amazing."
Yeah.
Remember? And I was like, "You don't feel amazing, Dan.
That's right.
You feel normal."
Right.
And that's what normal is supposed to feel like.
Right.
And there's so many people listening to this right now that have forgotten what normal feels like.
What happens is, and like you said, everybody who's watching right now, you get to an age. It could be 45, it could be 50, and you start to go, "Oh my God, this must be what 50 feels like."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm 50, this is it. You taught me and showed me it's total bullshit.
Yeah.
That is not how you're supposed to feel when you're 40, 45, 50, whatever the number is. How old are you?
I'm 54.
54.
Yeah.
I'm 54 too.
Okay.
I feel amazing.
I feel amazing too. And if you're 54 and you don't feel amazing, then you need to go on this journey, because, you know, what's astounding to me is, you know, over the years as I traveled the world and I talked to all these anti-aging and longevity experts and all these scientists and PhDs and researchers, it's amazing to me how much of this research is just coming full circle, getting back to the basics. You eat whole foods, right? You eat meat, fish, chicken, eggs, avocados, coconut oil, olive oil, nuts. I mean, how hard is it to stick to that whole food diet? I mean, you tell me all the time.
It's easy. It's easy, especially you can go out too. You can go out and eat in restaurants and live a normal life. You just got to cut out carbs and sugar.
Yeah.
That's it. You cut out carbs and sugar, and you're on your way. And one of the things that I respect the most about you, a lot of things that I respect about you, but the most is when I talk to you about other doctors or he's not one of these guys that, oh, well, that's not right. This, my system is the right way. I presented you with other guys' books, other doctors that you've met.
Yeah,
exactly. Other guys that you've met. And everything else. You work well with other doctors and explaining to them, and he can go toe-to-toe with any doctor. Toe-to-toe with any doctor. And let me just put it to you this way. My two doctors that I was with for years that, you know, it sounds like I'm shitting on now, but I'm not. I love both these guys. They're both with Gary now. Mm-hmm. They're both doing Gary's thing. For those of you that think this is a scam, here's another thing that I can talk about that Gary can't. Mm-hmm. Since Gary and I have hooked up, he's had a very good clientele, you know, before me. But some of your favorite actors, some of the most powerful, richest people in the world are all now doing this with Gary for one reason and one reason only, because it works and because it's real and because it will change your life. And I say this all the time. If you don't believe me and you think whatever, I don't give a shit. I could care less. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Go see your doctor and good luck to you.
Yeah. So, do you feel like you've been more successful, if for lack of better words, since you've had this change? Like, what are some of the things in your life that have changed? Because you said your daily life is basically the same. You know, you're not making more money.
No, you're right. I was wrong about that. You know, you're right. My life has completely changed since I met you. I'm actually running 4 different companies right now. 4 companies that I've, you know, got a day-to-day, you know, decisions to make in. And I could not have done that had I not met you a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So yes, amazing. Since I met you, I have gotten busier, and in a good way.
Yeah.
And I have made more money. That's a fact.
But because one of the things that makes a comeback is that old school, what I call positive aggression towards like life, positive aggression towards working out. It's like you wake up in the morning and you're like, fuck yeah, another day.
Yep.
You know,
100%.
And then there's nothing worse than being sick, fat, and tired and trying to run your business and manage
100%.
your family and be a good father to your kids and then take care of your employees and then be a good partner to your partners and manage the, investors' money and then be in the public eye and have all of these burdens on your back when you just have this constant state of fatigue and exhaustion.
You are absolutely right. And that's exactly where I was. I am as productive now or more than when I was 30.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's a fact.
That is awesome. So you've got what, UFC, you've got Slap, and what other things do you have going on?
I got UFC, I got Power Slap, I got
Power Slap's killing it.
And I have a company called Throw One that I dove in and sort of took the reins for a while there too.
And what's the focus of that?
It is, we own Ridiculousness on MTV.
Oh yeah, you told me.
We own Nitrous Circus, we own SLS Skate League, and Travis Pastrana's Nitrocross. So about 4 or 5 months ago, I dove in and sort of started doing some rearranging over there, and sort of took the bull by the horns and got the company into a good place. I got Slap in a really good place right now.
Obscurity to like the biggest thing, and I can't scroll through TikTok now without seeing it. It's like it's taken over Instagram, it's taken over TikTok. I mean, I think it's just so perfect for social media.
It's been an incredible 7-month run since the new year. It's been unbelievable.
So, what in terms of your future plans now that you're on this health journey? What's one thing that you want to change, or one goal that you have for yourself over the next year? Because you've gotten yourself to this plateau where you feel amazing.
Yeah, I think that my main goal as far as my health goes, I'm good with everything going on right now. My workouts, superhuman, all the stuff that I'm doing. It's more now about working with you and Stephanie on dialing my numbers in and just trying to get my blood work as perfect as it can be, because
it's such a fun game now.
Well, it's the thing that I've noticed is the better my blood work gets, the better I feel. Yeah. So my long-term goal for my health is to get my blood as dialed in as I can possibly get it, you know? And I'll get Steph in every week giving me my stuff that I got to do, and she'll tell me, you got to tweak some of this, you got to tweak some of that. I have some questions. I'll hit you up on some big stuff, and that's it, man. I'm obsessed with how incredible I feel.
What I think is amazing is, I talk to a lot of young entrepreneurs. It's different when you're in your 50s, but when you're in your 20s, your early 30s, and you're hard charging, you're burning the candle at both ends. I think social media and just society in general, rewards this sort of just unending commitment to hard work, right? And the one thing that always shocks me is that young entrepreneurs, a lot of times when I talk to them, is they have so much data on their companies, right? They know their income statement, their balance sheet, their P&L. They don't have the slightest idea what's going on in their body.
No, that's a good point. But you know why? Because when you're young, you don't give a shit. Yeah. You don't have to care, because you know what? You're young and your body bounces back, and you can handle all that. But as you start to get older and you're running as hard as you were back then, it's impossible. Yeah. If you are not paying attention to the numbers internally, you can't do it. It's impossible.
It almost becomes like a fun game, because just like, when you're growing a company, you're like, I'm growing the top line, I'm growing the bottom line. How much are we spending on marketing? What's our return on investment on this marketing? You get the same thing when you start to actually get into your own body. You're like, where are my sugars? Where's my insulin? How's my liver doing? How's my kidneys doing? How's my pancreas producing? And it sounds so silly to somebody who hasn't started that journey. And what I feel like my role is to take complicated information, distill it in a way that people can understand, so that it causes them to make a transformation. Because it's one thing just to educate the masses. It's one thing to inspire the masses, if you will. But you got to get people to make a change. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about you, is that you've been really open and honest about this change, and you're like, fuck it, put my blood work up on Instagram, let the scammers tell me I got scammed, but I got scammed out of diabetes, I got scammed out of high blood pressure, and I got scammed out of a CPAP machine, and I'm happy that I got scammed out of those things. And there's people listening right now that are about to take that first step.
Since I met you, first of all, you've changed many people's lives. Since I met you, the impact that you've had on my health and my life, number one. Number two, the impact that you've had on friends of mine that I've referred to you, and family members, lives you've changed. It's just it's unbelievable. And anybody who's watching this right now, and you were like me, it's not that you didn't want to be in shape, but and be healthy. You don't know how to. And doctors, I will never go to a doctor ever again about my general health. They have no clue what they're talking about, and all they want to do is put you on pills. And I'll put this out there too. I'm paying for it, so what's the hell?
Here it comes.
My mother-in-law, I was on vacation with my wife over Memorial Day. My wife is talking to her mother on speakerphone. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. And I said, they hung up. I said, your mother sounds drunk. Your mother drunk at 10 o'clock in the morning? She goes, no, she's having all kinds of health problems. They can't get her blood pressure dialed in and all this stuff. She's 80 years old, okay? I call Gary immediately. This dude jumps on a plane Memorial Day weekend, flies to Las Vegas, sees my mother-in-law, and now since Memorial Day to today, however long that is, him and Stephanie have been working with my mother-in-law, and she is not the same person she was however many months ago that was. They've completely got everything that was wrong with her under control already, which the doctors could not do. They kept switching her medicine every 3 weeks. They had her on a handful of pills.
14 prescriptions.
She was on 14 different prescriptions.
14.
She just turned 80 2 weekends ago, okay? So she was 79 going into her 80th birthday. She was taking 14 prescription pills, speaking like she was drunk. Her granddaughter was telling me that she's like was in a fog all day, like staring at the wall and stuff like that. So Gary, Steph come in, they work with her. She just had her 80th birthday. She was there till midnight and she was dancing all night. She's not even the same person, and you literally saved her life.
Yeah, that was chicken soup for the soul. I mean, some of the things that they thought she had, this early onset dementia, congestive heart failure, peripheral neuropathy. You know, one of the interesting things is if you just look at where all these things meet, you know, they meet at blood flow and oxygen. You know, reduced blood flow is going to cause you to have tingling and numbness in your feet. It's going to actually cause your short-term recall to kind of seem like it's fading. If you've got really restricted blood flow, it's going to put a lot of pressure on your heart. But as we just naturally restored that blood flow, and the clinical team came in and used natural things like resveratrol and hydrogen water, and to her credit, she stuck to a protocol.
She did.
We got all the processed food and all the refined carbohydrates out of her diet.
And she lost a bunch of weight too.
And she lost a bunch of weight, and she told me she's going to start dating again. I was like, I don't know if Dana knows that. But she's such a sweetheart. She's such a gem. And the other day I was over